So, what if grocery stores stopped stocking food for like a month or even a year or longer? Most people think they need a whole bunch of different items, like hundreds of items of food in their pantry stocked up to live. But the truth is, you really only need some very basic items. Really, there's only four you need, but my list here that I'm going to give you today is a list of 10 items that you can live on for an entire year and be healthy. Now, this isn't going to be the most gourmet list of items ever, but this will keep you alive in emergencies. Hi, I'm Tracy, and my channel is about all kinds of things, but disaster preparedness is one of my hobbies, and today that's what we're going to talk about. So the first item on my list is rice. We've all heard it, rice. You know what the next thing is probably. You could probably even guess it. It's beans. People have survived for, I don't even know how long, many, many years on rice and beans. What we need here is protein, calories, and fat to stay alive. And this is gonna form your basic protein. If you can't get anything else, you can store dry rice and dry beans, along with a few other items we'll mention, and then you will be fine. What I like about this list of 10 items is that you don't need a refrigerator, you don't need to buy any fancy freeze-dried food, you don't need military MREs. You just need basic cupboard items that you can live on. You can store these anywhere that is clean and dry. So if you have an extra room in your house or under a bed or in a closet, somewhere that you know will just stay safe and dry and potentially free from rodents, I guess, or anything that might get in there, then you'll be fine. So rice is the first item. You could store it for 25 to 30 years in buckets. And it is dense with calories, it's lightweight, and it's cheap. And for one person, you're gonna need about 200 pounds per year. The next item is beans, dried beans. And when you combine the beans with the rice, you form a complete protein. Beans on their own provide protein and fiber, but when you combine it with rice, that forms a complete protein. So for one person for a year, you're going to need about 70 pounds. The next item is oats. Now, oats are super versatile. You could use them for breakfast. You can grind them up into a powder to use to make breads and other items. They're super versatile, and they provide a lot of minerals and fiber. And you will need about 60 pounds per person per year. The next item is wheat berries. Now, wheat berries can be stored for over 30 years. They are one of the longest surviving foods for how long you can store them, and it's a natural food. And they can be ground up into a flour, or you can sprout them. For one person, you will need about 60 pounds of wheat berries for a year. The next item on my list is some kind of cooking oil. You will need the fat from the cooking oil. It contains about twice the calories of anything else, and without it, you're going to feel hungry all the time. And so you're going to need about 16 gallons per person of cooking oil per year. The next one is my favorite. It's sugar and honey. Sugar or honey, I guess. You need to take your pick. I would recommend honey, but sugar might be easier. You're going to need this for preserving food and for cooking a lot of things like bread. It'll also help make things a little more palatable. So you're going to need about 60 pounds per year of sugar or honey. If you choose honey, it's great because it never spoils. The next one you're going to need is salt. It helps preserve food and it keeps your electrolytes balanced. So you're going to need quite a bit of salt. You're going to need 8 pounds of salt per year. The next item that you're going to need is powdered milk. It provides calcium, protein, and minerals that is absent from the other foods. It is also great for baking. And you will need 16 pounds per person per year. The next item is canned meats, and that will add iron and protein and healthy fats. And it's also going to make all your meals feel much more satisfying. You are going to need 100 cans of canned meat per person. The next item is dehydrated potatoes. This is going to be like a comfort food, and it's going to provide a lot of potassium in your diet. And you're going to need about 40 pounds per person. So the good news here is you don't need a huge bunker to fill full of every type of food in the world to feed your family. You really just need this list of 10 foods that you could store and feed your family. And it's just one of those types of lists where you can buy it slowly over the time. You don't have to go buy it all at once, but just every time you go, say, to Costco or one of these big box stores that sells large quantities for cheap, you can buy an extra bag of rice, an extra bag of beans, and build it up slowly over time. And then you will have, before you know it, enough food to feed your family for an entire year. So now I want to give you a list of what you'll need to feed a family of 4. In 1 year, you will need rice, 800 pounds, beans, 280 pounds, oats, 240 pounds, wheat berries, 240 pounds, cooking oil, 64 gallons, sugar or honey, 240 pounds, powdered milk, 64 pounds, canned meat, 400 cans, and dehydrated potatoes, 160 pounds. That's it. That's everything you're going to need. If you think my list should have something different on it, please let me know in the comments. If you disagree with any of this, tell me why. I'd love to hear it. This is my list. I hope it helps you out, and I hope it helps you start your pantry, because you never know when you're going to need this kind of stuff. All right, thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, I thought you might like to check out this video next. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.